You're playing the wrong game, and it's keeping you broke. Naval Ravikant built companies worth hundreds of millions. But his advice on getting rich? It has nothing to do with hustling harder or grinding longer. It's not about following the Sigma male blueprint everyone's selling. In fact, what Naval discovered will make you question everything. It all starts with one brutal truth. You can't get rich renting out your time. Here's the game most people play. Trade hours for dollars. Repeat until your 6'5" Naval calls this the inputs equal outputs trap. You work 1 hour, you get paid for 1 hour. Seems fair, right? Wrong. It's a ceiling disguised as a career. Because here's what Naval realized. The truly wealthy don't trade time for money. They create systems that work while they sleep. They build assets that compound. They own equity, not paychecks. Think about it. Bezos isn't rich because he works 1,000,000 times harder than you. He's rich because he owns a system Amazon. It generates value 24/7 without him touching every transaction. Naval's first principle is this. You're not going to get rich renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business, to gain your financial freedom. But not the kind you're thinking of. Not just work smarter, not harder, Instagram quotes. Real leverage comes in 4 forms. First, labor, other people's time. This is the oldest form, but it's hard to scale. Second, capital, other people's money. This requires permission and trust. Third, code, software that scales infinitely. This is the new frontier. And fourth, media, content that reaches millions at zero marginal cost. The last two? That's the revolution. Code and media are permissionless leverage. You don't need anyone's approval to build a product. You don't need permission to write a blog or create a YouTube channel. Naval says, learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. But here's where most people get it wrong. They chase general skills because they feel safe. Excel spreadsheets, generic marketing, project management. Naval says that's exactly backwards. Wealth comes from specific knowledge. It's the unique combination of skills, interests, and obsessions that only you have. The things you're naturally good at that feel like play to you but look like work to others. You can't be taught specific knowledge in a classroom. It comes from your unique experiences, obsessions, and personality. It's what makes you irreplaceable. Here's the test. If someone can train a replacement for you in a few weeks, you don't have specific knowledge. You have a job. Naval puts it this way. Specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion, rather than whatever is hot right now. The people getting rich right now? They combine their weird interests in ways nobody else could replicate. Now here's the part that separates the wealthy from the wishful. Patience. Naval is obsessed with compound interest. Not just in money, in everything. Skills compound. Relationships compound. Reputation compounds. But compounding requires one thing most people refuse to give, time under the same strategy. Most people switch games every 18 months. New business, new strategy, new opportunity. They're constantly resetting their compounding clock back to zero. Naval says, play long-term games with long-term people. All returns in life come from compound interest over many years. This is why he emphasizes building in public and creating long-term partnerships. It's about choosing industries where your reputation matters more than your quarterly results. Here's what nobody wants to hear. Getting rich requires taking risks under your own name. Naval says the people who build real wealth are willing to be publicly accountable. They put their name on their work. They take risks where failure is visible. Why? Because that's how you build judgment and reputation. These are the two things that cause people to give you leverage. Embrace accountability and take business risks under your own name. Society will reward you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. This is the opposite of what most people do. They hide behind corporate jobs where success is shared and failure is diffused. Safe? Yes. Wealthy? No. And here's the secret about judgment. It can't be taught. It comes from making decisions, being wrong, learning, and iterating. Over years. Under your own name. The people who become wealthy aren't necessarily smarter. They're just willing to be publicly accountable for their judgment. So let's bring it all home. Naval's formula for getting rich without getting lucky. Step 1. Develop specific knowledge. Find the intersection of what you're uniquely good at, what you love, and what the world needs. Step 2. Build or learn to sell. Ideally both. Technical skills create value. Sales skills capture value. Step 3. Use leverage. Code and media give you permissionless scale. Build products, create content, automate systems. Choose a path and compound for decades, not quarters. Step 5. Take accountability. Put your name on your work. Build judgment through public iteration. Step 6. Own equity. Stop renting out your time. Wealth is assets that earn while you sleep. The game isn't about working harder. It's about building systems that create value without you being in the room. The question isn't, how do I make more money this month? The real question is, what can I build today that compounds into freedom tomorrow? You're not going to get rich working for someone else. You're not going to get rich trading hours for dollars. And you're definitely not going to get rich copying what everyone else is doing. But if you build leverage around your specific knowledge, play long-term games, and take accountability, you don't need luck. You need patience. Naval figured it out. Now you know the formula. The question is, what are you going to build? What's your specific knowledge? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.